Okay, so I put together this Ancestral Warrior Totem Molten Blast build, and I realized a lot of people are using this right here, Ancestral Bond, but nobody's really using the old tech or the old mechanics where you could use a red flare conduit to get infinite endurance charges with resonance. So, which I actually bought one of the Flesh Crucible resonance jewels, but I realized for this type of build I won't need it because of where it was placed on the tree. So it's pretty good. You don't really need to have the jewel, which leaves you with 3 jewel slots for life stacking, which you also don't really need, I don't think, to hit 3,000. Yeah, so we're almost 3,000 without it. So all we would need to do is, like, nah, not that. I don't think I have any. Yeah, I do. Okay, so I have an int node. Let's see what my sockets are. I could just get a better Defiance of Destiny. Or not Defiance of Destiny. I could get a better Malagaros. I'll probably do that right now, actually. I'm being completely honest. Let's see if I can get one with 2 sockets. Twenty div. That's crazy. All right, so we'll just get one with 1 socket because I got one with I got one with no sockets and it's corrupted just because it was cheap at the time. But I'm realizing now that that probably wasn't a good idea. So let's scrounge up the 30 div. So the build is Molten Blast, but you're using totems to cast it. And I believe it attacks twice at once with Nova and multiple projectiles because the the shrapnel balls kind of overlap with Nova projectiles. So I believe we're literally getting like double damage with the Nova projectiles, but I could be wrong about that. I don't really know why the damage is so good. The damage is actually really good. Uh, but the like the stat sheet, like I said, the stat sheet is not showing the real damage because it's got to be in the millions, but it literally says like 40k, 30k, 35k, something around that. So I think it double hits. I think the regular projectiles hit, and then the shrapnel hits for a second time, and so you get kind of 2 hits on bosses and rares. So I'll go over the build. Let me just get this life real quick. Oh, I don't need it. Never mind. There we go. So we got 3 jewel sockets. We can get some better jewels. So let's see what else we can get with. I don't have enough gold. Fuck. Never mind. We won't get any jewels right now. But you could get more damage out of it with jewels, and not even use the grand spectrums at that point. So that's up to you. But if you use the grand spectrums, you're gonna have a lot more survivability. But this is the build. We got so the key components of the build are as follows. You need red filler conduit, and you need some way to get resonance. That's pretty much it. That's all you need for the build to come online, really. And then you need Ancestor Warrior Totems, a Molten Blast, and a good weapon. Now, I got this because this weapon is really fucking good for, like, the price that it's up for. The price it's up for is, like, really cheap. It's, like, 1 to 5 div for a good one of these. So, at least I believe it is. I can price check it. Never mind, saying it's fucking 75 div. I don't know, man. I got it for like 5 divine. So in my book, they're kind of cheap. You just gotta look at the market. But that's why I got this, because you're probably like, okay, well, what weapon should I use? Because you just said a good weapon. Just get something with good damage. This has 869 physical, 370 cold, 30 fire. It's a shitload of damage in total. It's like 8, 9, 10, 11. It's like 1100 damage. And the crit chance is good too. Try and get one with 10% though, so you get a little more crit chance out of it. It would probably save you some nodes, because I got a lot of crit chance nodes. And then we're using Malagaros, uh, so we don't get any crit damage bonus because we're using Malagaros. That gives us our crit damage bonus. Now, uh, I don't think Malagaros. Well, actually, it's not that I think. It's that Malagaros is not the best way to get the most damage. The best way, it's just cheap. It just lets you save a lot of passive skills, so you don't have to get a whole bunch of crit damage bonus. But if you were to play like a Blood Mage or something, this build would probably fucking do a shitload of damage, like way more than with Malagaros. So that's something to consider. That the ascendancy I took and the class I played to make this build is kind of up to the player for the most part. I took Infernalist. I played an Infernalist because I wasn't even gonna like make this into a totem build, and then I was like, bored. I was just bored playing what I was playing originally, and I put this together pretty quickly. So, all right. So what now? I'll show some gameplay. I'll juice up one of these maps real quick. Just gotta get one of these. Boom, boom. And we'll get an irradiation tablet. And some alchemy orbs real quick, just so we can radiate it. And I'll showcase the build now. So not like crazy juice up. Just a 0 revive tier 15 with your radiation. So we can get it to level 80, area level 80. And we can do these just fine. The boss thing is a little slow, but like I said, I think it's faster than I expected it to be. So that's on the good end. I don't really know what I can do to improve the build besides get a better weapon. But this is what I mean by like they double hit. So basically the first projectile hits and then it splits and the Novas kind of come backwards and hit again. So you're kind of double hitting. Now I believe a single throw is either a crit or it's not. So the double hit doesn't like guarantee crits or anything, which would be pretty cool. But I believe it does double hit. And this build should be pretty good for farming abyssal, elements, because you don't gotta be near them. Only your totems need to be near them. So this is like the perfect build. And Shout to Win. Shout to Win in this build are like the best builds for farming omens in Abyss, in my opinion. Or any totem build. Any totem build. Doesn't have to be this build in general. Just any totem build in general is going to be good for farming Abyss, for omens. For like Omen of Light and Abyssal Echoes and all that. I just got Abyssal Echoes, but I didn't get Light, unfortunately. I rarely ever get Lights. It's kind of a problem. I don't know, like... Yeah, you just want to stay away from them. You want to try and kill them with, yeah, we didn't lead them, so we just got unlucky there. Didn't get anything good. But as you can see with Defiance of Destiny, we got the survivability we need. Again, you don't need Defiance of Destiny to play this build. All you need is the Red Flare Conduit and the resonance, some way to get resonance, and then you can play this build just fine. But you got 10 totems you can place down. Oh, and I forgot to mention, you do need to anoint Endurance. If you don't anoint Endurance, you can't throw down totems fast, and it becomes a problem. It's genuinely a problem if you don't have Endurance. So whatever amulet you are going to use, even if it's like a damage amulet or something, then you're going to want Endurance on there, no matter what. That's like your best in slot anoint for this build. It's just going to give you the most speed in terms of placing your totems down. As you see, I can place them basically every dodge roll. And if I wait, I can place them like really, really often. So like if I just wait a second, I let my charges go up, I can just see I just threw down 3 in like 1 second. So you do need Endurance. So 3 things you need: Red Flare Conduit and some way to get Endurance, and Resonance, some way to get Resonance. If you can get those 3 those three parts of the build together, if you can get those three and get a good weapon. So four things, I guess, a good weapon. You do need a good weapon. Then yeah, you're gonna do a lot of damage. It's gonna be fun. As you see, we're just melting this boss. Again, like I said, I think it's double hitting. I think that's why it's doing so much damage, but I don't know for a fact that's double hitting. So, but that's the only thing that I can think of that would allow me to get so much damage, other than being able to place so many totems down at once. But I tried this build without Nova, and Nova projectiles literally like gave it like millions of damage. Like, it was insane. Like, once I put in Nova projectiles, I just started melting bosses. So you definitely want to put in Nova projectiles so the shrapnel double hits. At least I think that's what's going on. I think that's the interaction that's going on. I'm not too sure. It's very nice, though. It basically means you're doing like 65k per projectile throw. So if you're putting down like 3 totems, that's 65k times 3. That's a shitload of damage, you know. So, and then you're critting. So the fucking the sheet DPS doesn't even really calculate the crit. So you're doing a shitload of damage because we have 50% chance to crit. So every other hit is a crit. It's a very good build. Now, I have seen that other people are using Molten Blast with this weapon and totems, but I did not get any inspiration from that to make this build. I literally was just like literally the only reason I got this weapon is because it's cheap and it does a lot of damage. That's the only reason. I don't give a fuck about the conversion to gold. Like, it means nothing to me, really. It's nice that we can freeze enemies instead of igniting them. You know, it's pretty cool. But we'd be doing the same amount of damage, I think, if we were just using like a weapon with a shitload of damage on it and some plus the skills. We'd probably be doing more damage with a weapon plus the skills. So the weapon is not required. I'm going to make that clear right now. The weapon I'm using is not required. You can use any good weapon. And in the long run, I honestly recommend a one-hander. If you really want to spend a shitload of currency, get a one-handed mace with like 800 sheet DPS physical. Like one of these. So if you want to spend outrageous amounts of currency on this build, a two-hander isn't even like going to be your best option. One of these is going to, like this. This is going to be your best option with 600 DPS and the attack speed, because it's just going to attack so fast and you're going to get so much damage out of it. It's going to be insane. Or you can use 2 of these, or 2 one-handers. It's up to you. Dual wield, I know, is very viable for this build because I've seen it. I've seen other people do it, so I know it's viable. Like I said, I didn't follow any build guides or anything, so I'm doing this from scratch. I did not. I just did it. I have nothing against people who like look into build guides and stuff. I just was like, I'm gonna do it myself, which is why I never went the spirit route with Ancestral Bond over here. Because with this, then you gotta stack spirit and it gets really expensive, right? With endurance charges, using endurance charges, resonance, and red flare conduit, it's not that expensive. It's like 8 div. It's like maybe 10 divine, really. If you get a flesh crucible, that's going to be expensive. But if you just get the red flare conduit and you get resonance on the tree, that's going to be cheap. You could make this on a Titan. It's probably going to be a lot better if you make it on a Titan because you're going to have more health. You could also make this on a Javelin Legionnaire because you're going to get plus the skills. You're going to get quality, extra quality for the projectiles. I have a Javelin Legionnaire. That's the only reason I know about all that because I didn't actually look it up. But I know that people are playing uh, not this build in particular, but Molten Blast with totems. Uh, they're playing that with like Javelin Legionnaire, which I might try. I might try that if I get enough currency because it's probably going to be a lot. Not probably. It's most definitely a lot better than this. This is not like good damage. Like we shredded the boss, yeah, but we didn't like instant kill it. You can do a lot better with this build for sure than what I'm doing. This is just what I got put together out of like from scratch, from nothing basically. But yeah, I'm trying to sell the Flesh Crucible right now because they went up in price. I got mine for cheap, man. I got it for like one div, I think. But now, if you go look at them, you go look at Resonance. Yeah, it's like, oh, never mind. It's not that bad. I'm gonna drop the price of mine then, because that's not bad. That's not that bad. I thought it was a lot worse than that. Yeah, I'll put it up for 5. Yeah, 7 div ain't that bad. I'll put mine up for 5, but yeah, when I price checked it, they were a little more expensive, so they probably went down since the time I price checked it. But this isn't really a build guide. This is just what I'm doing on this character at the moment. We got crit chance here. We got crit chance here. We got crit chance here. Oh my god! No way! I just realized this is crit. Oh, never mind. Never mind. We're good. We're good. I was gonna say I thought that was crit damage bonus for a second. It says reduced crit damage bonus. Okay. Now we're good. We're good. We're good. That's the right nodes to get. We got projectile damage, attack damage, more attack damage because we're using Laviaga spirits. We got more attack damage, more attack damage, more attack damage, more attack damage over here. And then I'm going to be getting all these for the projectile damage as I level up to 90 and like 91 and 92 and all that before I start playing another character. And then we got extra damage is cold and extra damage is lightning. Kind of sucks that there isn't one for fire over here, but it is what it is. I did have these nodes here to recover number percent of maximum life on kill, and I have these ones here. But I realized that you're just better off getting more damage in the long run because you're not going to die anyways. You're just not. It's with Defiance of Destiny. It's a very tanky build. So I'll go over the gear, what I got set up, but like I said, all you need is Red Thread Conduit, Resonance, and Endurance. Allocate Endurance as your anoint, and that's it. You can also allocate it on your helmet. I didn't do that because it's expensive. Very expensive. You could have a second anoint on your helmet too. So that's up to you. And then get a good weapon. That's the fourth thing you need is a good weapon. A really good weapon. So what I got going on is I got resistance and life on my rings, helmet, on my belt. I got resistance and life. I got resistance and life on my boots, and then we got Malagaros because we're just stacking critical damage, critical hit chance. So with Malagaros, it locks your critical damage bonus to 250. So you can put things like pinpoint critical and get things like careful assassin, and they'll help you hit more crits, and your crit damage will not decrease because of Malagaros. So we have 50% chance to crit, which is very nice. We're basically critting every other hit. And then for the supports, we got its Ancestor Warrior Totem with Molten Blast, Pinpoint Critical, multi-shot 2, Nova projectiles 1, and urgent totems 3. And then we just got Eternal Rage for the extra damage. You know, the rage build up, damage is good. So that extra damage always helps. And that's about it. I showed some gameplay. I showed a boss. I just got these down here because I don't like getting poisoned, bled, or ignited. So that's the only reason I got these unique charms. Lavianga Spirits, so you can get the benefit of imbibed power forever without having to use a mana flask, because your mana flask is always in use. And that's it. That's the whole build. So go ahead and try it out if you want. It's pretty cheap to make, pretty easy to make. I think you don't need. Okay, so you don't need. I'm gonna go over this real quick. You do not need a red flare conduit that's this good. This is a really good one. As you can see, there's no results found. There probably aren't any up, if I had to guess. I will check right now, actually. The build's probably over, so if you want to just exit out the video now and drop a like or something, or try to build out, go ahead. But I'm going to do some extra shit. Let me see here. So we get this, and then you get new stat filter, not confirm, lose, power, charges, and it's 7 div. That's not that bad. That's not that bad. It's for literally the same thing I got, pretty much. Well, not pretty much. Literally the same thing I got. So that's not that bad. 7 div. So what's the upside to doing this method over doing the ancestral bond? Well, the first upside is you already get 10 totems. As you can see, you cannot have more than 10 ancestral warrior totems. You can have 10. That's fucking insane. That's absolutely fucking insane. With no investment, you could just have 10 totems. What? Why? GGG. That is OP. Do you not understand how overpowered that is? You can just fucking yeet, 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 and you can just fucking keep throwing these bitches down, and you're never gonna have to worry about overriding the ones you already have. Look, we have fucking 7. We have 7, 6, back to 7. We have 7 fucking totems. It's absolutely insane. So you're gonna tell me Spirit is better when you can just get 7 totems like that? Like, no, there's no way. There's no way stacking Spirit is better. So you're gonna get more damage out of this than you would a build that stacks Spirit. And now, if it's a spell totem build, that's different. If it's a spell totem build, then in my opinion, you're gonna want to stack Spirit. That's gonna be the optimal way to play. Because spell totems, you can only realistically have like 4 out at a time without stacking Spirit. With Spirit, you can have like 5 or 6, if I remember correctly, from some videos I've seen. So, I could be wrong about that. Just take everything I say as with a grain of salt, because I could be wrong about literally everything I say. But fact check it. I think for spell totems, stacking Spirit is going to be your best option. For Ancestral Warrior totems, nah, it's going to be endurance charges. You're going to want to stack endurance charges for Ancestral Warrior totems because you already get 10. Why would you want to decrease the amount of totems you can drop, right? That's just how I see it. So, yeah, that's it. That's the end of the video. Goodbye.